As a biracial child who was born into a family where they weren't really ready to have mixed or black kids, I have a few questions for you, so listen in.
Oh, you got questions you want answered from a parent of mixed children? I got answers. You're just not going to like it. Well, she wants answers from a parent of mixed race children. I have 7 children. 5 of them are mixed. 3 of them are half Asian. 2 of them are half black. 1 is white and 1 is fully Asian. So I think I'm the perfect person to answer these questions. Let's do this.
1. Do your parents think of your mixed kids as an exception to the rule about black people? You know, where they actually hate other black people, look down on other black people, don't see them as full people, and your kids are the exception to the rule, but they're actually still racist?
I'm not exaggerating when I say that my mom and dad each have more black friends than black friends that I have or black in-laws that I can name combined. And I'm not lying when I say that I don't approve of any of their friends, and it's not because they're black. My mother has helped raise some of her black friends' children, is a godmother to some of them, and she doesn't view my kids as superior than theirs.
2. Have you set an expectation throughout your entire extended family that they need to have a pro-black politic to both support your partner and your children?
Absolutely not. There is one member of my family who is pro-black, and they are the only racist member of my family that I can name, and they were married into the family. My children will never learn to be pro-black, they will never learn to be pro-Asian, and they will never learn to be pro-white. So I wouldn't expect my family to either. The most important thing that I can do for my children is to teach them not to value race. As long as you teach your children to value race, well, then they will have to put a value on all races. You will find that they will value some over others, hence the pro-black that you mentioned. If you value one race over the other, how do you think racism begins? I'm sure many of you have heard the phrase, pro-black doesn't mean anti-white. Well, actually, in many ways, yes, it does. And I will explain how. Being pro-black or pro-white or pro-Asian just means that you hold pride in your race. Pride is the consciousness of your dignity. Dignity is the base level of respect that you demand for something. The more prideful that you are in your blackness, the more respect that you will demand for it. Pride is a very emotional state. So if somebody does not give you the amount of respect for the thing that you hold so much pride in, you will be more emotionally distraught. So if I teach my son to be very prideful in his blackness and to be pro-black, and somebody were to call him the N-word, he is going to be very emotionally distraught and probably make very irrational decisions, possibly getting himself in trouble. But my kids don't hold value in their race. So when somebody makes a race-based insult to them, they don't hold any value in their race to care. They will probably laugh about it and go on with their day as they should. Because nobody should hold value in something that an ignorant person has to say to them. And anyone who says racist things are very ignorant. Also, a common result of people being prideful is they will enline themselves and befriend people who hold pride in the same thing. Kids who are prideful in being white will find other white kids who are prideful in being white, and they'll form their little white pride group. No different than black pride groups, or Asian pride groups, or Chevy pride, or Ford pride, or whatever. Which is why you will find that those prideful groups love the idea of segregating themselves from other groups. Yeah, it would be kind of counterproductive for my 3 different races of children to come home and try to segregate themselves from their brothers and sisters when they live the exact same life with the exact same values and culture, wouldn't it? Now, to answer your question, pride is not bad until it is put into the spirit of competition. With this whole victim mentality movement between education, media, and Hollywood telling you that it is a black versus white issue, we are creating a competition of black versus white. So when you say you are pro-black, you are in fact saying that you are anti-white, because that spirit of competition is involved between the two. Because if it wasn't, you wouldn't be holding blackness at a higher standard than whiteness to say that you are pro-black. You would probably say all lives matter instead of just Black Lives Matter.
3. Have you set the expectation that your entire family needs to have a pro-black politic? Because that is really integral to the fact that now you have black people in your bloodline. Like, have you done that yet?
Not gonna lie, it sounds exactly like question number 2, but if you're talking more politics, then no. I'm not going to vote for anybody who tries to promote one race over another. I want somebody who's going to promote equality, not equity. For all of you imbeciles who say equity is equality, Shut up. If you have to oppress somebody in order to give what they had to somebody else, that is not equality. If I have to take something from you in order to give to somebody else, that is not equal treatment between you and that person. Let me phrase this in a different way. Equity is the idea of socializing something, right? You try to balance out the outcomes. Well, if we were a socialist nation, right now we have 1.7 million black millionaires. If we became a socialist or communist nation, we would have zero. If you seriously think that taking away the money that those 1.7 million black millionaires earned and strive to achieve and took it all away and gave it to a bunch of people who don't give a crap and don't want to work and just want to live at home all the time, tell me that's fair. Tell me that's equal. That's what equity is. That's not equality. I would not vote for somebody who says racist things against black people just as much as I would not vote for somebody who says racist things against white people. And if you think that the bad things that are said against white people are justifiable, you're the racist and you're the problem. And that specifically explains why you are okay oppressing certain people to lift other people up and why you don't actually want equality and why you want equity, because you are full of hate, resentment, and a racist.
4, do you put all the expectation and onus of protecting your kids on your black partner?
No, thankfully, my beautiful wife is nothing like you. She knows that blackness isn't a monolith and that we don't need to raise our children to act or be a certain way because of the color of their skin. She knows that the worst thing that we can do for our children is to raise them with a mindset of victimhood from birth. If I convince my kids that lightning's going to strike them if they go outside, they're going to miss out on all the opportunities that they could have because they're too afraid of walking out the door. If I convince my kids that they're going to die if they get on a plane or get into a car, they're never going to get on a plane or in a car. What you're doing is you're convincing your kids that the entire country is against them based on something that they cannot control and that there's nothing that they can do about it. You're making them hate and hold resentment towards people that never did anything to them. I don't know about you, but if I go in for a job interview or if I get pulled over by the police, acting like I hate them typically won't get me as far as not acting like I hate them. I feel bad for your kids. You are convincing them from birth that they are inferior, and you wonder why they're going to struggle with having an identity crisis, especially with other kids telling them that they aren't black enough because those kids hold pride in their race because their moms are just like you.
And 5, did you think that simply birthing mixed kids made you an ally to them? Figure out your answer to these questions before you make your little TikToks.
Depends on your definition of ally. Do you mean an ally as somebody who will always be by their side and help them get through whatever struggle that they have because they love them? Well, then yeah, I'm their parent. Or did you mean ally as somebody who only views them as the color of their skin and treats them accordingly? You know, like any racist or you are telling people to do. Well, then I would have to say no, because my kids aren't colors. In fact, my wife sells merch, if you guys are interested, that says we are not colors. Just throwing that out there. You guys want to know the best way to find a racist? Say that you're colorblind and watch people flip their lids because they want to be seen as a color. They love the divide. All right, guys, that's it for me in this video. I'm kind of sick of racists telling me how to raise my children. I probably have a lot of shorts already on that topic, but figured I'd make an actual video and answer these questions that this woman wanted me to answer, which I couldn't answer in a minute, which is all the shorts allow you to have. If there's any topics that you guys want me to discuss, just put them in the comments and I'll try to make videos on them. So thanks for watching.